La in Arabic. It's not El-Al. El-Al means forwards and upwards. But El means God. Carmel, the vineyard of God. Now you know the major angels. Gabriel. They all derive from the Hebrew. Gabriel. God will overcome. Michael, Michael, who is like you, God. Raphael, God will heal. Ariel Sharon, who was our prime minister. Ariel, the lion of God. The Christian Germans who left the Lutheran church, that's only בעמותה, נכון? Who left the Lutheran church in 1968. They came as a group, the Templars, they were called the Templars, and built 7 colonies all in Israel or Palestine at that time. They lived here for 80 years. They had 7 colonies. And as you see, this colony was the brightest, the biggest, the largest, most beautiful, the richest. And this was renovated for the last 10 years. It became part of old Haifa. So we celebrate the fact that we are the shared city. Also, with the notion to show the rest of Israel that normal life are possible. And what a better way to gather the communities together to know each other than the work of art. So he was aware that Mount Carmel was sacred since the beginning of humanity. It was sacred to the pagans, to Jews, to Christians, to Muslims. And he ordered his son who followed him, Abdul Baha, to build here on Mount Carmel the center, the global spiritual center of the Baha'i. The center started in 1909. Look to your right, you see this high white building? Over there to your right, this is the Rambam Hospital. This is where Haifa started 2,300 years ago. It's in Haifa, which is the best place in Israel, of course. On a bright day, you can see the border with Lebanon in Upper Galilee, which is 40 aerial kilometers from here. You can also see the tip of the Syrian Hermon mountain when it's snowing. So basically you see here 3 countries. So you see Upper Galilee, Lower Galilee, Gilboa Mountains, the Valley of Jezreel. Now look to your right, you see these housings. They are built on part of Mount Carmel, which is called French Carmel. And it is called French Carmel because the Carmelite order, which started again here on Mount Carmel, have their monastery on Stella Maris. Altogether have 16 million followers, and they are growing in number, more than the Jewish people. And they are the only people here in this area. This is the only place where they can practice their religion freely, because in all other Muslim countries they are persecuted. This Ahmed was a Muslim, and he had a vision that the word of Islam, as was given by Allah to Muhammad and was written in the Quran, was misinterpreted only after 200 years after it was given. Interpretation of the word of Islam as it was given to Muhammad. And the principles are that, first of all, to regard everyone as equal to the other, because all people were born in the image of God. All people are divine. The other thing is people are equal to one another. The other thing is that you have to tell the word of Islam only to those who want to listen to those words. Third thing, to do it only in a pleasant manner. And maybe most important for us, people in the West, is the meaning of the word jihad. Now they said the word jihad derives from the old word jahada, which in Arabic means a holy endeavor, a huge effort, and this effort is done within oneself to become a better person, to be worthy to stand before God, to become a better Muslim. Never, never with the sword or rifle. They are pacifists. 30 years ago, the most polluted town in Israel. By the way, there is In the computer I saw that there is a report of the CIA on each country. I saw it in Google. There is a report on each country in the world made by the CIA. And it says all kinds of things on this country and the problems of this country. So the first problem which appears in Israel is pollution. Look at this compound. This is the high-tech compound of Haifa. We have here all great companies.
Intel, a bunch of others.
So you are looking at a mall. תיסע עוד טיפה קטנה לכאלה בסוף אנחנו רואים עוד. אתה יכול לעשות הכל. Now, you're just in the world. It's in the Book of Guinness. And I may say this is the biblical part of Haifa, which Haifa has nothing to do with the Bible. But here we have a depiction of the Garden of Eden. You see the Garden of Eden. And scenes from the Bible concerning Jacob, Joseph, the conquering of Canaan, Gideon, Samson, and King David. Inside the cupola you see inside, it's a fresco-like work of Proverbs of King Solomon. This place is called Castra, if you have it on your map. And again, it's a new one. It's only 12 years old. Now, this was the Grand Canyon. This is more impressive, of course. You see in a moment the big net of roads of the exit of the tunnel, what we call Park Extreme, for snappling, for riding bicycles and motor cars and well, all those dangerous things you do in sports. Glory of Mount Carmel. It's an old neighborhood now. It's about 90 years old now, and most of the inhabitants are immigrants who came from Russia. Elected this whole area for the last 2 years. It got under renovation. This was the main street of Haifa until about the 70s. All the commercial lines moved to the outskirts of town. You have the sail, the brown building is the bridge, and this elongated broad building is it has also a bow made of glass on the other side. Hello, Australia. So probably you know them, but today they are all Lutherans. There is no Templars any longer. However, their colonies, many people who came after the war from Europe said you have to erase every reminiscence of the Templars, but thankfully everything is remained. I'll tell you that Haifa is a young lady of 2,300 years old.
These are the Baha'i Gardens. This is the headquarters of the Baha'i religion anywhere throughout the world. And the leader of the Baha'i religion is elected for 5 years. They're going to have an election here in a few months, and they'll have representatives from 200 countries to select the new leader. Our city tour, and then walking around and using the Wi-Fi, we're back to the ship. There's a Nautica, and there's a clone of the Nautica, which is the Asmara Quest. And here's the cruise terminal that has shopping inside and Wi-Fi, and of course Israeli security. No problem with that.